I don't know how the Scythe works with the Battle Trance. I don't think you die. If you get the Battle Trance off, of course, but it's a good matchup versus Jug. I like this. Whenever you get Omni Slash, you can't really die because you can pop the Battle Trance and then you just turn around once Omni Slash is over and hopefully lifesteal up a bunch. So it is a good matchup versus Jug, I think. The issue is Shadow Demon's going to be able to... it's going to be a really annoying matchup with the Purge. Just slowing you down, constant poison coming through as well. I imagine this is going to be a Velo Necro. That's going to be my guess. I'll probably look for the 4 here on Radiant. They need someone to start the fights here. That's really what they're lacking. A lot of the time you see like Earth Spirits coming through. A good way to deal with the Earthshaker as well. Like you have Magnetize and an Urn to just cancel the blink. They're going to pick up a Sand King though. So flexible hero here if they want to put the Sand King as a 3 or a 4. That is a way to start the fights like we said how they need it or counter initiate. And this still doesn't really reveal what the Necro is going to be. Like he can still be a 3 or the 2. Depends on how Power want to play this. I think they might put the Necro as a 2 because then it's really awkward having a Batrider mid. Like it's just... it's a lot more flexible.
5 seconds remaining.
Like the only time we really see Batriders mid is to the Templar Assassin. And like I said, Batrider's always going to follow the Necro around this game. That's the reason they pick it for the lane matchup. They've definitely got to go their 5 here. Like I said, still save. I haven't been able to think of any other position 5 with the save in the meantime.
Radiant team back.
Wow. Man, what is happening? Okay. We're gonna go to the Conquer mid. Okay, so... good control for the Necro. You're extremely tanky. I love... oh, that AA band's really good versus the Necro. No save though. I actually really like the AA band. You have good setup, so a lot of stuns and control to get the ultimate off. This Conqueror is just a lane dominator. Like he's super strong, doesn't really lose any lanes. You know, at worst it gets traded out even.
10 seconds remaining.
But it's just a beefy target. Like I said, a good lockdown, good team fight, a strong laner. And they have kill potential mid as well, which is I love this. Having an Earthshaker, you know, position 4, likes to roam across the map, is going to help out the Conquer. And they can definitely get kills early on. And that's what you want as an Earthshaker. You know, being a part of the early kills, getting that Tranks early. They've definitely got to look for their 5 now, right? I know yesterday the Earthshaker was played as a 4 every single game. So... they banned the Tide as well. So they think the Sand King's 4 and they think the Necro is mid, I guess. They just want someone to frontline there. Could they pick up a Brew for Radiant? Looks really good this game. Great way to kite the Troll, the Conqueror as well. As soon as Troll pops Battle Trance, you just cycling him. So they do go back for the Wyvern. We spoke about that earlier. Winter's Curse is going to be hard against... good against a Jug, I guess. A little bit of a save through the Omni Slash, but it's not the greatest to deal with a Reaper's Scythe. Which is why I thought they might have gone like the Bane route. Because it gives you a little bit of magic immunity lockdown and also Nightmare save for the Scythe. But regardless, I'll go for the Wyvern. They kind of needed shove potential and the Wyvern's going to give that.
5 seconds remaining.
And now... could we... I'm just trying to see if they want the Sand King as a 3 or not. It's probably good for the Necro mid against the Conquer. Conquer doesn't really want to side lane, so that I think that's fine for Radiant. And then they go...
Legion Commander.
Choose your
wow. Just look at all the sustain coming through. You have the Healing Ward on the Jug. Legion Commander with Press the Attack. Shadow Demon with Disruption. It's going to be so hard to kill the Necro, man. It's going to be so hard. And it will be the Bok Batrider. So they're going to put... I mean, they're going to put the Necro mid. And like I said, Conquer never really wants to be in the side lane. Like, you have a lot of kill potential once you hit your 6. So you're really relying on levels. And even though this Batrider is a good matchup versus the Necro, Conquer just being in the side lane feels really awkward. You can't really, you know, be a part of kills. And you have someone else soaking experience as well. And look at the amount of things they can
5
purge off.
seconds
Like,
remaining.
they have not only the Shadow Demon to keep someone alive through the lasso, but also the Legion Commander. Like, this is a great draw from Radiant. So much sustain, save for the Batrider. You can also, you know, purge off any other stuns as well, but it's mainly, I think, for the lasso. This is a really good draft. I love this Legion Commander. Although it is going to a Wyvern, that's a little bit of an issue. Because, of course, Legion is going to hit pretty hard. And also, he has the save through the Cold Embrace. But I still really like this lineup. It'll be interesting to see. So, both Radiant have this melee position for the Sand King, the Earthshaker. Sorry, I meant both sides have the melee 4. And they're the big initiators right now. I mean, Legion will get a blink, of course, but you know, Conquer likes to follow up. He can, you know, be the first one in, but it's mainly that Earthshaker just, you know, getting the fissure, allowing Conquer to close the distance for the X or the Batrider. So it's really both the offlane heroes and the position 4s for both sides who's going to be the one starting the fights. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Earthshaker's got a lot more roaming potential just with, I mean, your fissure is a higher cast range than Burrow Strike at low levels. But we see a lot of the time teams at that 10-minute mark, they like pushing to a lane and then giving, you know, their position 4, that's a and then giving your position 4 just a solo lane where you can, you know, get a lot of experience in gold. Let me move that down there. Wonderful. All right, we are underway. They are going to put the Conqueror in the side lane. Okay. So this is going to be really interesting to see actually how it works out. So, well, we spoke about how Batrider is a great matchup against the Necro, and I like this smoke. We've seen it a lot from MYSG. We saw it in, you know, the first series that we casted yesterday, and they're just trying to scout the lanes, get really deep wards, and you see they're going straight up the high ground here. They need to find, you know, what the lanes are for Dire because this Necro can't be in the bad matchup, and they're gonna put him mid. But like we spoke about in the draft, I mean, nothing to say. Is there... It's actually faded to mid player.
30 seconds to battle.
Interesting. You see, this deep observe ward, I say this a lot. We see teams, you know, for Dire, they place a ward up here potentially. This just scouts out the lanes. You know, whenever... It's really hard for someone to avoid that. You've pretty much got to go all the way around or TP. Someone pinged it out as well. I don't know if it was Dire, but... And perfectly, I mean, Mac just sitting in the trees. He's the one that they're trying to find right now. Polison as well, just getting some vision when Bok does walk up. But this is just going to be the lane wars right now. The pings come through, so they know Bok is mid. And straight away, nothing say going to the top side. And they're going to put faded mid. So this is great. I love this, how Radiant are playing this right now. This is also a similar ward. I mean, it's not as deep to scout out the lanes, but it's also going to help with rotations from some of the Radiant supports running mid. And they actually put Velo. Okay, so Velo's going to go mid. We'll have the Presty attack to deal with the sticky napalm. I actually like this a lot better than the Jug or Winter. Can he cut through? He's going to be forced to use a lot of tangos for this. He's going to end up trading his life. Nothing he can do. Going to chuck out as much damage as he can. Natsumi, the one with first blood there. What a fissure from Boomy. That's a great way to start. And here come the lane swaps, man. We're going to see this time and time again. They're going to try and find this Necro. Polison's going to try and keep tabs. And let's see if they continue switching as well. If Velo's going to go straight top. Looks like nothing to say is running all the way down. So this is exactly what you want. You got to make sure you're not the first one to TP. Because if you TP, then the other person's going to TP and follow you straight away. Whoever TPs first pretty much loses the lane matchup. But it's just simple like that. Because then you're forced in that lane. Wait, what? Settings and mic issues. So yeah, I mean, Winter definitely could have cut through, I believe. I think he could have cut this tree and he would have been fine. But, I mean, that would have been 2 tangos. I'm pretty sure he had 4 already. But he brings back the Quelling Blade for Faded because he can't get to the side shop just yet. And they're going to pressure this out. They'll keep it on the front side. Just stopping them from using that side shop as well. And you'll look at the pressure. I mean, just the power of having it in this spot right now allows, you know, the position 4 to pull the creep wave and drag it all the way back. And they're just allowed to constantly pressure. There's not a lot of kill potential down bot because you have the threat of the Earthshaker just blocking out the Blade Fury. Looks like back to top. So there goes Velo. And we'll see how persistent both teams are. Bok right now still hanging out in the area, but this is the key thing to look up. Just the lane matchups. And it looks like he's actually going to hang around for the meantime, unless he's just waiting for this large creep. And it looks like, yep. So Velo's going to scout him out here. And imagine after this full creep wave, nothing to say is going to go. So this mid and top lane is just going to be a bit of a lane swap fest right now. Not much is going to happen there. It's kind of just bot where we will see some potential action coming through, but even then, it's just really reliant on getting this fissure block potentially on Winter once again, or... But both the cores are going to farm reasonably well. Faded's got 4 tangos as well, just brought out the double stack. Just recognizing Troll Warlord really good at harassing these lanes. They might actually try and pressure Mac out top, actually. Polison rotating on the backline, does have the boots. 1 level in Burrow Strikes. Going to go for the torrent, but it won't be there in time. TP rotation from the Batrider. Now with the Firefly as well, they're going to try and TP out. Velo extremely low. Can he get the kill on Mac, however? Selv will be able to keep him alive, and now he's going to turn it with the X. Early pickup for him, and Velo will get brought down. A second kill for them. Bok's going to rotate straight to the mid lane, but Necro is still actually top here. Sometimes we see like a 1-2 build in the Conquer, but I really like that pickup. Looks like he just hit level 3. And now it's going to make it hard. I mean, nothing to say still has his TP. The Batrider doesn't, but they get a kill out of it. And he might just TP back mid now once they see the Batrider. They're also stacking up extremely well. In the meantime, look at Polison. Just taking a little bit of experience in gold as well. Torrent connects actually. Bok stacking up the charges here, but the Pressy attack will be able to purchase off. They do bring him back, however. And there's the Legion matchup. Nice save to keep the core alive from really any threat. Ozbok going 20-2 for the Trolls. Having a really good time actually against Faded. Forces got pretty good attack damage. They're both similar, 57 to 56. They got Quelling Blades as well. But right now, I mean, not a lot. Both teams, just like I said, trying to swap the lanes, and that's about it. Just continue farming. Nice fissure block there, but Faded will be able to run all the way around. Polison's going to actually try and rotate down with the DD. He's level 3, so he's got, chance for the second point in the Burrow Strike for that cast range. And now, Fissure is on cooldown for a little while longer as well. They got to be careful here, Boomy. Going to run up to the north. They get the Burrow Strike to allow the Bleed Fury to stay on top of him. Faded will be able to get the kill there, so a nice rotation. Just weren't able to scout that out with the ward on the high ground here, and we still see the lane swaps coming through. Both playing around. Velo just trying to man-fight. Bounty runes are going to come up soon. Velo's going to be careful with... maybe they can add up some sticky napalm charges. In the meantime, look at the levels from the Winter Wyvern. 7 last hits as well. That's a feels good, man. He's getting solo lane right now because everyone's just rotating through. He's getting a few CS, some experience as well. Blade Fury. I'm going to try and... hold them back here. It allows Polison to get the bounty rune. So it looks like it's going to be a 2 for 2 in the runes. I wonder if it'll come to a stage where we see a dual lane mid, where enough is enough. They're just going to be like, oh, we'll both see mid, I mean, it gets to a stage where is this really favorable? Because I mean, what level is the Batrider's level 4? I guess Velo's 4 as well, but everyone's really. I guess Necro is still his highest level. Oh, okay. I thought he would be a much lower level than what he is, actually. But he's having a reasonably good time, so... But this is the thing you've always got to worry about. These lane matchups... That's the reason why they picked the Batrider, but just how strong it is against the Necro. They might be able to find Mac in the mid lane with the Sand King behind him. Boomy's going to try and rotate over. Can they find anything? Shadow Demon rotates as well, so heavy aggression mid. They're going to try and defend this siege creep push coming through Polisons. I don't think they have enough damage. I mean, nothing to say. He does hit level 6 over, but he's got to be careful. Winter's going to rotate through, try and add up these Shadow Poison. Looks like he will be fine. Disruption's going to be there. Nothing to say, just can't close the distance. And there's a lot of aggression mid, because in the meantime, You know, both in the side lanes, the cores, they're farming up pretty nicely. Not really any aggression. We're not missing too many kills. But I like the timing from Radiant. I mean, they try to rotate mid, you know, with the Necro hitting level 6 and also with the potential push from the Siege Wave, you know, if you can get some good damage on the child, which is what they did. I mean, about, you know, what, 1k damage pretty much. So even though they don't find anything out, it also forces the supports to rotate there. But it looks like the lanes, we could be set with how it is now. It looks like Bok's going to go back top. They do have a fair few stacks for him. I mean, this is the double stack. They got a triple here as well. So at least the Batrider is going to be able to farm up reasonably well. But the issue is that Necro is also having a great game. And nice fissure. That's a really nice fissure. I'm kind of worried. I think Batrider had to be the one to come really good out of this laning stage and destroy the Necro. I think there's still a good timing for him before, you know, Legion gets Blink Dagger potentially. Before Shadow Demon gets, you know, maybe one mobility item as well to get in range to protect someone. Because whoever gets lassoed, I mean, they've got 2 ways to purge that off. So, Batrider, as the game goes on, it's going to be a lot harder for him to play around. It's really just this early game. Let's see if he can, like, push the tempo. They're going to... And he should be able to. With the stacks, they're going to give him a lot of farm. Perfect fissure. Winter's going to get blocked in once again. Goes for the disruption, but it's not going to be enough. Omni Slash will be there as well. Natsumi taking a lot of damage here, but it will be fine. And now Cold Embrace... going to be enough to keep Boomy alive. There'll be a TP rotation coming through. It's taking a lot of damage on the Earthshaker. Nothing to say has the ultimate. They might turn it here. They get it on the Troll. Not going to be enough damage to bring him down from the Scythe. But one more right click from Nothing to Say. So it's a 2-for-1 down bot. Omni Slash and Scythe was committed. In the meantime, Velo level 6 now as well. So he's having a great time at this top. Wait, what is the... I thought the Choreo was... I guess Wyvern can't really kill the Choreo, but... Maybe Boomy can. He's gonna try. Oh, no. One more mid lane, actually. Nothing to say. They're gonna get the Ghost Ship. It'll lead forward. Allows the Batrider to close the distance. Faded's gonna rotate through, but there's nothing a Jug can do. They lock him down. Winter can't get in range as well for the disruption. He probably goes Aetherlands, actually. Yeah, disruption's out. Faded has the Blade Fury. A lot of damage on Mac. I'm surprised they didn't get the kill there, but I guess Boomy rotating on the back. They'll find the Conquer, but Winter might pay for his life here. Flame Break pushes him back towards the tower. Fade is going to rotate through as well. Kind of just body blocking potentially with the Blade Fury, saying, get back from my support, but that won't be the case. They end up finding Winter as well, so 2 heroes down for Radiant in the mid lane. They might try and wrap around on Bok, however. But he's well aware with the ward on the high ground, scouts out the Sand King. And this is getting to the stage where we see, you know, the position 4 starting to take a lane, getting some much needed experience and some a little bit of gold as well. Velo. Mac doesn't have the ultimate up yet, but they should be able to lock him down in time for that to come through. They got the fissure. Wyvern's going to rotate over as well. Perfect combination. They chain stun him up. And Velo's going to end up falling here. So right before the bounty runes as well. That's a big find for them and Dire. They're still in the area. Radiant, they got to be careful here. Winter's Curse going to hold him in place here. It'll allow Boomy to get the stuns back up in time. Torrent going to be on 2 as well. A perfect setup from the Wyvern. And now Winter, can he get the bounty rune before he drops? No, he can't. Oh, actually X. Tidebringer, down he goes. And in the meantime, did they get all of them, Dire? Looks like they got all the bounty runes. Oh, never mind. Fader got one. Okay. And all of a sudden, they're playing really well as a group right now across the map. Omni Slash onto Bok here, but he just gets the charges over. So the range creep will be able to tank that up, and now Bok is fine. In the meantime, though, nothing to say. A kill on Natsumi here. Looks like he went for the Scythe. Able to find the Troll. Warlord dead for 30 seconds. What has Bok got? So closing in on the bit to travel. Really like this. Just this high tempo. Can't get the deny through. Boomy's going to probably pay for his life here. Fire Strike to bring him down. Kind of surprised they went for 3 points in the Sandstorm. Just because of the cast range that you get. At, what is it? Plus 100 every level. So I'm kind of surprised he went for the max Sandstorm. Even then. But yeah, like I was saying, I like the Batrider's item build. He's actually going to go Blink. I think Drums is much better just because he needs to play around with his movement speed, just constantly being on top of the enemy heroes throughout the early game. And I really think his blink's just going to get counteracted. They're going to try and defend bot though. With this siege wave, Radiant are going to rotate pretty much everyone through but the Legion, who's going to continue farming up. Winter's Curse going to get out. Taunts on 2 here. Tone as well with the fissure. Stuns on 2. Boomer's got the ultimate as well, but the Blade Throw is going to stop that. They get the pullback as well. No way to keep him live right now. Echo Slam to hold him in place. Going to get healed up completely now, but they'll drag him straight back into the boat. Nothing to say. Taking a lot of damage with the disruption is there. He's got the hood ticking up, but will it be enough to keep him live? Policing with the stun. Velo's going to rotate through as well. They get the cold embrace. Going to stop the physical damage coming through. Can they get the dual victory, however? Bok will end up falling afterwards, so no dual damage for the Legion Commander, but they keep the Necro alive. For a second, it was looking really worrisome for the Necro, but I mean, we saw you get the Shadow Demon disruption out, just allows him to get enough time, you know, to get that Ghost Shroud and all the heals. It looks like he had a lot of one charges, and the power of the Hood, man, that's a lot of magic damage being absorbed. They might try and find Polison, although it looks like detection probably coming out on the corridor. Sentry will be, but a great fight for Radiant. I mean, they take the T1 tower bot. Velu also rotates through and is now very close to the drums, but in the meantime, Troll Warlord continuing to farm. So we'll be going for the Yasha next. Top, Bok, Omni Slash once again. Nicely played from the Batrider. Velu does have the duel though, but I mean, this Batrider moves incredibly fast. Windlace and Boots of Travel. Listen, they're not going to be able to close the distance, but still just continuously pressuring here. They used a lot of ultimates down bot. Echo Slam down. Curse is back up. Lasso's going to be up soon, but actually looking at it now, Dire, their ultimates are a pretty low cooldown. I mean, Lasso is, what is it, 60 seconds max. I know Boat is pretty low, like around 50. Winter's Curse is like 80 or something. Yep. So yeah, Dire actually playing around with really low timing on their ultimates, which is going to be pretty big. But now we'll see the Legion Commander starting to get more rotations across the map with the drums now completed. They're going to try and set up on the Winter Wyvern mid. Look at the Purge out. Winter, can he close the distance with the disruption? However, a lot of damage early on. Max sitting on the high ground as well. Torrent connects on the Shadow Demon, but it doesn't matter. The boat's going to fly through. It will connect. Look at the Cold Embrace out in time, so no dual victory once again. Bok's going to TP through. He's got the lasso. The side's going to be there. It's not enough damage. Another Winter's Curse. Connects onto 2 here. Boomy doesn't have the ultimate. The Enchanted will be there. They get the lasso as well. Winter won't be able to keep him live. Fade is going to try and rotate over with the healing wall, but will it be enough? Pricey attack's going to come through. Only level 2. Think the Bow Strike as well. A lot of damage. Velo moves incredibly fast as well. They got to be careful now. Boomy's getting chased down. Fisher will connect, but it doesn't matter. They find 2. They will at least get Polison. But look at the sustain and the saves as well. It's so incredibly hard to bring these heroes down. As a pipe now completed on Necro, you have the healing ward, the press the attack, and just the power of disruption, being able to just, you know, give a little bit of time for your team to rotate through. And all of a sudden, Radiant, I mean, they have not been able to get these dual victories, but they are slowly bringing this game a little back. It was looking a little worrisome, you know, I'd say probably 5 minutes ago. Around this time, around the 12 minutes, when Dire, you know, had the net worth lead. I mean, of course, it's very early on, and it's not a big net worth lead, so it doesn't show a lot, but it's actually Conker's going for a Spirit Vessel. So we see this often on the Conkers now. Just with how much you're able to participate in team fights, so it allows you to get a lot of charges, but mainly the thing is for the Necro. I mean, it's going to stop him from getting a lot of the sustain coming through. So I really like this itemization. I think Sand King... Okay, he's got the urn. He's really close to Blink, actually. Earthshaker's reasonably close as well. They need to give him a lane, but the issue is they're still just trying to get aggressive. This T1 tower is going to give him a lot of gold. It looks like he'll get a majority of the creep wave up here as well. So after this tower falls, I wonder if they give him the last hit. I think they should, but I don't... Alright, they're not going to. Okay. So in the meantime, space for Radiant just going to continue pushing top. This is a siege wave. Radiant have really good vision in the area as well. Just one around the shrine. And you see how Polison's playing it as well. You know, they got a ward on the high ground if someone rotates from mid. So just trying to sit in the area where they have no vision right now. Looks like top will be able to stay alive right now. T2 is up, but they're going to run into Natsumi here. Velo, he's got the drums pop. Can he close the distance? Troll Wall, but the phase moves incredibly fast. And he will be fine, so he's going to be able to escape. That's drums. That's a, I guess they're not big, just the drum charges. It's still one down. Survives a rotation as well from Rainy, but mid lane, they just gotta be careful with his positioning, man. Tanking. We'll be able to pick up the blink. Velo. Fissure just connects on the tip here. We'll be able to purge off the slow with the press attack. He's gonna be fine. Now Bok's gonna rotate up top as well. Okay, so actually, can he find him? He's away from the creep wave here. Once again with the Omni Slash, he's gonna bounce over Bok. That's 3 times now. Oh my lord. I would not be surprised if Jug just doesn't Omni Slash the Batrider once a game now. I actually don't think he will. This is such a mind game. I feel like the past 3 Omni Slashes, he's just completely whiffed on them. This is a big mind game. I wonder in the team fights if he goes for another play like that. And it's not big, it's 140-second cooldown. It's just going to rotate back to the jungle, but even then, Omni Slash is pretty much a guaranteed kill, and Bok's got to be feeling pretty happy about that, closing in on the blink. So we're about to have a lot of timings coming through from both sides. Sand just picked up his own blink. Earthshaker and Batrider extremely close to theirs as well. What is Winter going for as well? Okay, so I mean, he's incredibly poor. I would like to see them actually try and give him a lot of farm. Maybe just at least get Aetherlands potentially for the increased cast range, just to keep... Well, just at least to protect someone who gets lassoed. And I like this. They're going to keep the Shadow Demon to protect mid. He's one of the best supports at being able to do this, just because you can drag the creep wave away from the tower and farm up with the poison top lane. Oh, apologies. They get the kill on the Batrider top. The first victory for Velo here. Looks like the Sand King initiating forward with the Blink Dagger. They're able to find that, but they're going to try and find their own rotation. Earthshaker just picked up his Blink. Faded's on the creep wave here. He's got to be careful. Will get scouted out. Can they find him, however? If he goes, he's going to go for the TP now. Boom with the fissure. Not going to go for it. So Faded survives, forces some rotations down bot. They're going to continue the push around this top side. Radiant are grouping up. What is... Okay, Max going for the BKB next as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a Lotus Orb, but looks great this game. You know, really good into the Scythe, the Burrow Strike.
Not so safe.
It's going to stop the Shadow Demon as well, kind of, from using a single target. Of course, you don't care if you disrupt yourself. I mean, as long... Ooh, actually, Winter trying to defend mid here. Mac, a lot of damage early on. Oh, TP and Velo, they get the fissure out, but with the run buff, it's going to be hard to bring him down. The Scepter will be there. Burrow Strike on the side as well, but look at the Winter Skirts. It's holding them all in place. They might turn their attention to Boomer here. He's got the Urn Charge on top of him, so he can't get the Blink coming through. They're going to try and allow Velo to close the distance. Another Urn. Nice heads-up play from the Sand King. But they're all in the area here. Cold Embrace is going to be able to keep him alive. They get the Torrent as well. Lasso is going to drag back the Legion here, but look at the disruption. Will it be enough? Nothing to say on the high ground. He needs to get in range. They get the Echo Slam, and now Polysun as well. The side's going to come through. They blow up the Earthshaker. Fade is going to join them as well, and there's the Omni Slash going to bounce over on the high ground here. Now Toomey doesn't fall. They get the Blade through as well. He'll pop the battle chance now. He's going to be forced to turn. You'll accept to hold him in place. Nothing to say with the Spirit Vessel as well. It's going to get dragged back here. Look at the damage, but they will find the troll. They're going to turn their attention back up the high ground here. The vision coming through. And nice two-man Burrow Strike the Sand King. He's going to reinitiate here, and they find 4. Nothing to say with the triple kill for the Necro. Wow.
I'll take your
what a nice Burrow Strike to end that team fight. Really nice play. Polysun, we just saw this Earthshaker really had no impact in that fight. Like, yeah, they found 1 kill on the Legion, I believe it was. You know, with the Echo and the Fissure. But even then, I mean, just the Urns coming through from the Sand King, constantly keeping that damage tick on him so he couldn't, you know, reposition, you know, get in a good place for a big Echo or anything. A really heads-up play there. And now they're just going to go Roche with the DD. A lot of ultimates were used from Dire. This also allows the Legion, I mean, he's close to the Blink Dagger. Gives a little bit of farm for Shadow Demon as well, close to the Arcane Boots. Like I said, I really think he goes for the Aetherlands afterwards. Winter's going to get caught out. Perfect Fissure will block him in, but Sand King with the Burrow Strike, they're still in the area. Nothing to say as well. Doesn't have the ultimate just yet. Legion Commander just picked up the Blink. He's going to TP through. Winter's Curse going to get chucked out here with the boat as well. It'll summon up to 2 here. Overwhelming Orange. Will it be enough? Velo with the Blink forward. Do they have the Con Embrace to keep him alive? However, not enough damage because they have the run buff. Mac will end up falling afterwards. thanks to the epicenter, they're going to close the distance on the Wyvern as well. Stunt will connect, and it looks like CLMC is going to get brought down here. Disruption as well. Can they catch another one? Velo going to try and get in range. Booming half HP here. Will blink 4, but they don't have the duel. Bok does have the lasso now. They're just going to drag him underneath. That's a little bit of a hefty dive coming through from the Legion, but will it be enough? They got the healers. Bar strike as well. They're diving here. Nothing to say. Needs the damage. He'll be able to get in range. 3 dead on Dire.
Tower is under attack.
Velo does fall. I don't know how, actually. There's no creeps. How did he die? I think Flame Break, potentially? It looks like the creeps killed him. Anyway. And all of a sudden, Radiant have... this game is wide open for them. They might be able to find Bok as well if he oversteps the mark. Radiant have disengaged, though. And this is not good. When half your team TP's out, it looks like Winter's going to pay the price here. And they're going to slowly chunk him down. Natsumi will rotate through. Nothing they can do. That's just the issue. I mean, you got to coordinate there. If, you know, one person TP's out, you've all got to. It's either everyone TPs or everyone runs away. You can't just half TP and half run away, and that's what happens. I mean, Adroit are able just to close the distance and not really, you know, feel any pressure about a potential wraparound because they know other people already TP'd. But this is Spirit Vessel now picked up. We're seeing... I mean, Velo's not having a great game on the Legion, I must say. I mean, 0, 4, and 8. It is a really hard game. You're going into the Cold Embrace for the save. He's got 2 points in it. But also the run buff is extremely difficult. I mean, Mac is always getting these ultimates off. And they're just not being able to deal with him. So even then, like, yes, it's good lockdown to just control someone for a period of time. But he's only got 10 dual damage right now. So he's not going to transition at the moment. Unless they can find some kills extremely early for him. But Radiant, they're going to try and smoke up. They won't find anyone, however. Mac's just going to push out mid. Went for the Ghost Shroud slow. That's interesting. Instead of the heal. Dire, they're going to walk up the high ground here. They find Boomer. This is big, but instead they're going to try and find the Wyvern. Look at the boat once again. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? Side from the side. Earthshaker's going to get brought down. Somehow the Winter Wyvern is still alive. Look at the curse coming through. They get the lasso as well. And the Shadow Demon's going to try and drag him up the high ground here. Velo incredibly low here, but he's got the healing ward. He's going to be fine. Wyvern's going to jump. They'll find Mac. Scepter's going to stop the TP here. Wyvern. Winter actually apologies on the high ground, but they'll bring him down with a flame break, so Winter will fall. Mac as well. They got the Ghost Shroud for the slow. They'll close the distance. Nothing they can do right in front of Roshan as well if they want to try and take this. A great fight for them. We spoke about how the Wyvern is making it incredibly hard for the Legion Commander to get these dual victories. Even then, I believe that's another non-dual victory. But he recognizes we got to bring down the Wyvern. That's a lot of their save and a lot of team fight.
Dire structures are fortified.
Even though, I mean, Conker was able to just keep him alive with the stun coming through and also that run buff. But they're just going to walk up the high ground here. And Dire, I mean, buybacks aren't looking too good for them. Conker doesn't have his... They'll find the tier 3 tower. They're going to back off.
Dire's
Wow.
middle
You,
tower
Batrider with
denied.
87 damage at 24 minutes in gets the deny there. Interesting. Now, all of a sudden, Radiant, 5k gold net worth lead. And nothing to say is closing in on the Radiance here. It's going to be great. This minus armor against a lot of the physical damage that Dire are outputting. And also, just the constant burn is... it's going to be a big nuisance for the Earthshaker Blink, the Batrider as well. So if he can somehow, you know, get the Radiance sticking onto these heroes from Dire, it's going to make it really hard for them to, you know, get that Blink initiation that they need. But the Batterin's coming through. Looks like it's going to be a 2-piece here.
Dire are
Once again,
scanning.
thinking about running up the high ground. They've got to be careful with how they're
Dire's
playing.
top shrine is under attack.
What has Winter got as well? Going to try and TP mid. Okay, so he's got the Arcane Boots closing in. He's got a little bit of farm now after they've been able to take some objectives. And also, I mean, he's been a part of 16 kills, which is a lot right now. Mac's going to
Dire's
TP.
top shrine is under
They have
attack.
vision of this. Bar strikes can be on one. They find the Wyvern. And without the ultimate coming through from the Conqueror, they should be able to get the Wyvern here. Lasso on the Sand King. Where's the save coming through? Mac's going to be able to rejoin the fight. TX, they'll bring him straight back. So the Sand King does fall. Wyvern somehow still alive. Just, this is the issue with Velo right now. It doesn't have enough dual damage. It's going to go on the backline once again. There's a buyback coming through from the Sand King here. It's going to turn their attention to Bok. They find the Wyvern. They're going to find the Batrider as well. Now Mac with the BKB. He doesn't have TP, so they're going to slowly chase him down here with the BKB. Now expired. Boomy's here with the ultimate, but they all disengage. Scythe will be there. Nice blink away from Boomy. With the ward on the higher ground, scouts him out there, and you saw Radiant straight away trying to get out of range because they were all grouped up there, and they're just going to walk up higher ground. We have not seen this troll had a massive impact right now, and I mean, he just got the BKB. And how do you defend this? You've got Echo, but they're all split. Full set of racks is going to drop here. There's not a whole lot Dire can do. Just going to watch their buildings crumble right now. Faded with the blade through. Might have got bursted down. They're going to be careful disengaging on the creep wave. Nothing to say. Just being the sole frontliner here. Fissure is there, but they got the healing ward and they'll be fine. Batrider is back up. The deny. Oh no. Oh, there you go, man. This game is now looking incredibly rough for the Dire side. It's a 7k gold net worth lead. And we're seeing how the Legion Commander is taking out the Winter Wyvern through the team fights, making it really hard for him to get the Cold Embrace save or a good Winter's Curse. He needs some dual damage though, because that's the issue. I mean, the Shadow Demon and the Legion were just beating into the Wyvern. They just didn't have enough. Polisson, I love this position. He's going to go for the epicenter. They're all grouped up. They've got to be careful. Stun onto one. Boomy doesn't have the blink dagger as well, taking a lot of damage here. Duel on the backline. They'll find the Wyvern. Laster's going to drag him up on the high ground here. Buyback coming through. That's him with the BKB. They need to try and disengage here. They've overset the mark. Omnislash going to come through. He doesn't have the battle trance. It's going to be 2 dead on Dire. Conquer will respawn shortly. What a great ward on the high ground. And they just, you know, fake the Roshan there. And they're just going to continue walking up the high ground because Dire still without the buybacks. I mean, the troll just bought BKB. Boomy has that ultimate. But you just see Radiant are playing perfectly around it. Not seeing any big ultimates. They do get the healing ward. At least we'll make this a little less favorable, I guess, for Radiant, but it's still not a whole lot. Boomy might go here with the creep wave on top, and they're going to be careful. Mac BKB is going to get popped. He'll go on the backline, but the stun doesn't connect on anyone. A lot of damage on Winter, but it doesn't matter. They'll get the bow coming through. It doesn't connect. And now Radiant, they're fine with this. 2 ultimates down. They find the tier 3. They're going to back up here. They won't overcommit. They can double back as well once again if they want, because look at the wards in the area. They have so much control on this map right now. And Dire, how do they actually protect Roshana? I guess it's really just all up to this big Winter's Curse. Finally, we have that second duel victory for the Legion as well, who's going for the armlet. But now, they're going to walk into Rosh here, nothing to say. Probably gives it to Faded, who's about to pick up the Mjolnir. Polisson's still sitting in that tree line once again. We'll get the Observe Ward, but they're going to disengage here. So there goes Rosh finally. I mean, it felt like Radiant have been going for this for a long time now, but all of a sudden, Faded's the one with the Aegis now, has the Mjolnir coming out on the courier, will be going for that Battle Fury. Battle Fury, sorry, I meant Butterfly. I don't know how I got Battle Fury from that. And this is looking really worrisome for Dire right now. Can they delay this a little bit longer until they get the ultimates? That's a big question. I mean, Echo Slam's on cooldown for another 40. Fox gonna try and deal with the creep wave here, but even then, they have the pipe if they want to use it here. And they can just send the disruption illusions on the high ground if they want to. They gotta get this ward, Winter. They don't have any vision right now. Those sentries in the area, so they scout them out. So we're just trying to delay this. Echo's going to be up in 25. Torrent, a lot of damage on Faded. Blade Fury will drag him back, but they get the lasso. Can engage him underneath the T4 tower here. Nothing to say as well. We'll be fine. Look at the Radiant, so trying to get on top of the Earthshaker so we can't get the blink off. Ghost Trap will be there. They get the root. They drag it back to the side. They blow up the troll. No saves coming through. That's the issue of the Wyvern. He doesn't protect you against the scythe. And now the X is going to be there. Torrent as well, but he's got the Yosef. The boat's going to fly through. Where's the save? Winter has the disruption. BKB now popped on Mackie. Fade is going to rotate back forward. Echoes out there. Connects up to 2, but they get the pressing attack. Winter's Curse as well. But look at the epicenter on the backline. Boom is going to fall. Winter Wyvern half HP as well. Fade is going to go through with the Omnislasher taking way too much damage here. Look at the procs coming through on the Mjolnir. It's a triple kill for the Sand King, making an Ultra. And that's game. Radiant, they're going to force Dire to tap out. The G's are dropped. Wow, that fight looked incredibly bad for them. When it starts off with your position 1 getting scythed like that. And that's the issue with the Winter. We saw how good he was against the Legion Commander duel. but you don't protect anyone into the scythe. They burst down the troll. It allows them to set up. And then this Sand King, just the reinitiation. Wow. I mean, I've got to say, I think it comes down to the laning stage. We spoke about how this Necro has a horrible matchup versus the Batrider, but they just constantly, you know, swap the lanes. And we see this, nothing to say, 9-1 faded 6-0. They made sure these lanes were favorable for the Radiant side. And I think that's what it comes down to here. They just got enough items. They were able to catch the key heroes, and I loved what Velo did. He recognized as the game went on that he couldn't get these duel victories because the Cold Embrace. So who do you deal? Like, what do you have to do to deal with that? Well, you duel the Winter Wyvern. And now that forced the Conquer to use a big ultimate to try and save someone. Because that's a lot of their setup, a lot of damage as well to protect someone through the duel and just with the run buff. But in the end, Radiant, they were just able to take this. I mean, those few team fights would just, you know, let them get the advantage through. But like I said, I think it really comes down to just the lane swaps. It looked really good for Radiant. Having, you know, Necro and Jug come out of that lane, really favorable. But with that being said, power of MYSG+AU. They're going to take a game advantage here. Before we head to a break here, I want to thank DX Razor for helping sponsor the tournament. A big shout out to those guys over there, but we're going to take a short break before game 2, guys. We'll be back very shortly.